Good morning, morning musings by I can't even talk this morning. How are you going to like that for a morning musing by Melinda? Good morning, morning musings by Melinda. Happy Wednesday. Today we're talking about, is it better to be alone than in a crappy relationship? And the reason that I'm talking about that is because I do have this discussion regularly with people who are in an unhappy relationship. And part of the reason is because A, they're afraid to be alone, B, they are afraid that they don't have the financial wherewithal to be alone, and C, they're concerned about the kids. And I find that very interesting because if you stay in a crappy relationship or even a mediocre one, it means that you're in a relationship with yourself that's crappy or mediocre, that you don't trust yourself to have the wherewithal to find it within yourself to stand sturdy and strong and in balance and harmony from within. It's never good for your vibration to stay in a relationship that doesn't serve you. It doesn't mean that you throw in the towel like right away or something like that. I'm not talking about not staying committed when you are going through rocky times, because everybody goes through rocky times. And when you're going through those kinds of times and you can't communicate your way through it, that's when to consult a professional and to have someone help you through that. And if all else fails, that's when you have to decide to move on and not be afraid to be alone. Some of the times in my life that I've been alone have been actually luxurious times, because they've given me the opportunity to get to know who I was, and the core of my self-worth, and the core of being able to like myself and be in a relationship with myself. I happen to be one of these people that doesn't need a lot of noise. Some people need a lot of noise, like they can't be alone without the TV going or the radio going or something like that. I happen to be one of these people that when I'm alone, I don't need any outside stimulation. I just kind of think to myself and that kind of thing. It's an interesting process if you do that. So even if you spend time alone, if you're, getting your vibrational frequency filled with noise, it doesn't really give you the opportunity to know who you are. Remember that when you are in a marriage or a relationship, it's kind of like a car. If the battery isn't good, you go and get a battery. If you need new brakes, you go to the mechanic and get brakes. It's the same thing when you need a counselor. You go and you get a professional to help you get that car moving forward. But not all relationships are created equal. Of course, I always have some things for you. This is by therapist Heather Gray. She is talking about lying to yourself and telling yourself and pretending that your relationship is good when it's not. That really just leads to some really dysfunction, disharmony, and disease in your body. Remember that your body takes a hit from your thoughts and your being, the energy of who you are. And if you're unhappy all the time, it's a way to manifest something out of sync in your body, a disease or having some kind of an illness. Confidence and independence are traits that are honed in on your own. Excuse me for just a second. And so those are not traits that you get from someone else. They are something that you do for yourself. Time spent in a bad relationship is time wasted finding the right one. I don't think that everybody has to have a relationship to be happy. I'm glad that I have a happy relationship, but sometimes it's better to be alone than to be in an unhappy relationship. I wish we knew that, because then we'd have a relationship that was better for ourselves. Figure out what you want and what you absolutely don't want, and when you have newfound independence, it makes you more attractive in so many ways, because again, you know yourself. So, is it better to be alone than in a relationship? Well, when you're longing and desperately wanting your soulmate, your partner to come to you, that vibrational frequency of desperation really gets in your way, and you never manifest that way. So make sure that if you are alone, that you're enjoying it, and you make it a delicious time of getting to know yourself and relaxing and figuring out who you are, and then you'll attract in the right way. So I've been talking to you about this week. A lot of people ask me questions. Can you tap into my mother, my father? Can you tell me if I'm going to sell my house? Well, Saturday is your opportunity to ask those questions where I will answer them live on Facebook at 1 o'clock in the afternoon as I present this wonderful organization called Through a Parent's Tears. So if you want to ask me some questions, please send them to Melinda throughaparentstears.org, okay? And then join me live on Facebook because we are doing a wonderful fundraising event. It doesn't mean that you have to donate to attend. We certainly would love you to donate. Every little bit helps. As we have put together this wonderful documentary for people who are so emotionally courageous to share their stories with you about losing their sons and daughters to suicide. And these people have really stepped up to the plate like you can't believe. And they're going to be sharing some of their stories with you on Saturday afternoon live. And this is going to be an amazing opportunity for you to see some of the ways that people move into whatever kind of balance you can move into with this experience. I'm reluctant to use a lot of words because, grief is never goes away when you have such a loss. There's sharp edges and dull aches. It never actually leaves you, but it may shift and change into a spiritual evaluation, which is what these people are going to talk to you about. And so I hope that you will not only send your questions to me, which I would love to answer on Saturday afternoon live on Facebook at 1 o'clock, but also listen to these people and their stories and how amazing they are. Also, you can buy a raffle ticket for $25 to win a reading, which is pretty awesome. So I hope that you will join us on Saturday afternoon, and that when Through a Parent's Tears comes out, the documentary comes out, that you'll pay close attention to it, because it's an amazing organization that wants to impart information and give of themselves so that other families can understand how to deal with the aftermath of losing someone to suicide. So have a great Wednesday, and we will talk tomorrow.